Okay, this chapter is describing people's personality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The first part is they are talking about intellectual ability, like
Mm,
whether you're clever or whether you're bright or you're not very clever. So
mm,
they are talking about your ability. So here
mm,
are all the adjectives to describe a person's ability:
mm,
intelligent, bright, clever. All this is saying that you are clever, in other words. They all
mm.
mean clever. So
Yeah.
we'll go through each of them.
Mm.
When
Yeah.
the
So,
next one is sharp. If somebody says you are sharp, it means you are quick on the ball. If somebody
mm,
were to say something, you grasp it very quickly.
mm. Yeah.
So describing you as a very sharp person. The next
Mm,
one is shrewd. Your shrewd means that you are very quick to judge people and to make a conclusion. That means
mm.
when you meet a person, um, you will be able to draw a conclusion quickly. You're very shrewd.
Oh,
You make um, good
how to
judgments.
should
Shrewd. Yeah,
should. Mm,
shrewd.
should.
That means you will not, like, for example, very shrewd if you went to the market and there are lots of things to sell. So if
Mm,
you're very shrewd, that means you know what to buy without wasting money.
yeah.
So you're a very shrewd person.
Yeah.
The next one is able. Able is just very, very clever, able to do anything.
Able here is an adjective.
It's an adjective to say how
Able.
capable you are. You're a very able person. That means you are very good at doing things, getting
Mm,
things done.
yeah. Yeah.
Next one, gifted. If you're very gifted, for example, somebody might say he's very gifted in art. That means
Mm,
you you got a gift. You could be gifted in art, you could be gifted in music or
mm,
photography or
yeah.
writing, anything.
Yeah.
So you're gifted, that means you got a talent.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
The
very
same
similar with talented.
talent, yeah,
Yeah.
talented. Like
Mm,
not everybody can be an artist. So
mm,
if you're very good at drawing, then you're very talented. Or
yeah.
not everybody can learn to play a musical instrument, but not everyone has the talent to play
Mm,
well.
yes. Yes. Exactly.
Yeah. And then brainy means that um, you got very high IQ, and you'll do very well in your studies on whatever you're doing, so you're very brainy. Everybody
Yeah.
else will have to work hard, but a small
Uh,
fraction of people are very brainy. They don't take long to understand a problem, and they're
yeah.
very
Mm,
quick with their brain.
yeah.
So that's why you use the adjective brainy.
Mm. Yeah. In this line, some of the adjectives about ability are very common and some are not, like
Yeah.
intelligent, bright, clever,
Mm,
gifted, talented are very common adjectives to
yeah.
show their others are not as common as those, like sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sharp is like saying, describing your ability to do something. If you go
Mm,
into the unknown, you go
mm,
into the street, they say you're very streetwise. That means you're very sharp. You know how to pick a bargain, you know how to survive. So you're very sharp.
yeah.
You
Can
got
you
a very
give?
sharp you got a very sharp sense of business, sharp
Yeah.
business sense. That means not everybody will be able to get go into business and do well. But if you got a very sharp business sense, then you will be able to go into business and conclude a deal and notice what to buy, and there's a niche in the market, so you know what to what to start up. So you are
Yeah,
very sharp. You need a sharp sense about you.
yeah. And how
The
about
rest,
the
hmm?
words? Can you give us some context examples about
Of
those
which one?
unfamiliar, not so common adjectives? Like just you
Mm,
did sharp, you can
okay.
uh
Shrewd,
give me.
shrewd. I've given you the example. If you're very shrewd, that means you are you make very good judgment.
Yes, I know. Yeah, if yeah, you've done that
Yeah.
before. Just you can put it in some sentences.
When it
Yeah.
comes to okay, shrewd. When it comes to going into the market to spot um, a good buy, something to
Mm-hmm.
buy, um, I would say he's the most shrewd person I've ever met. He will pick up a deal and he will sense it. So he's very shrewd in his dealings.
Yeah, I see. So, how about those lacking ability adjectives?
Or lacking. Lacking is
Mm,
just the opposite of the intelligence.
yeah.
Somebody say you're stupid.
Mm,
Everybody uses that word stupid. It doesn't
mm,
actually mean that you're stupid in not passing exams. You
mm,
could have made a stupid decision, a stupid
mm,
choice. So
yeah.
stupid doesn't just relates to your ability. Um,
Mm,
it also relates to the way you do things. Like for example, it was very stupid of me to leave the electricity on all night, or leave
yeah.
the heating on all night. So that is just describing that I made a mistake. So it was very
Yeah.
stupid of me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, first, a few adjectives are very common, like stupid, foolish, simple, and silly,
yeah.
and brainless. Brainless.
Brainless is just another way of saying um, you you are very stupid. That means you don't use your brains.
Mm,
That means
yeah.
you will go out and do silly things without thinking.
Yeah. So, are they all the same for those stupid, foolish, simple, silly, or brainless? Is there any
They're
difference
all
between those?
no, they all mean almost the same, but
Mm,
you can use them in different situations. For
yes.
example, foolish is almost the same as stupid. You can say
Mm,
somebody is very foolish. He went
yeah.
and spent $1,000 on something which he shouldn't have bought, so it was rather foolish of him to go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's foolish. Simple is like, oh, he's just a simple person. He
Mm,
he doesn't go for designer clothes. He doesn't go for luxurious um, cars and flashy cars. So
yeah.
he's very simple. He just lives a simple life. No
Yeah.
frills. That's simple.
Mm, yeah. I
Silly,
see.
silly is almost the same. It's that saying, "Oh, you're so silly. Why do you do that?" That
Mm,
means you're not exactly stupid, but it's just that you're silly. That means
it's
you
a
made a
gentle
mistake.
way
You just made a
to,
mistake. Mm.
yeah.
It was silly of you to give away all your money.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah,
And brainless, we just did that.
you've just done that. Yeah. Daft. Daft is a very common colloquial phrase, adjective to describe somebody again who's silly. Like they could say, "Oh, you're so daft." That means you don't make the right decisions and you are a bit stupid in your way of carrying your life. You're so
Mm,
daft.
daft.
Yeah,
Is not so common as those before. Daft.
yeah. Daft in England we use it a lot. So
Oh,
sometimes people will say, "Oh, don't be daft." That means don't be silly. Like you say,
yeah.
"Oh, I think um, tomorrow we're going to have snow." When in actual fact it's not going to snow. Everybody knows that. So you
Yeah.
would say, "Oh, don't be daft."
Mm,
You know?
daft.
Yeah,
Don't be daft. Mm.
yeah. Don't
So
be
it
daft.
more used in the speaking.
Yeah, colloquially in conversation. Don't be daft.
Yeah, don't be daft. Okay.
Dumb.
Down.
Dumb is like the word dumb means that you do not talk. Deaf and dumb. That means you cannot talk. You cannot
Yeah.
speak. So when you say somebody is dumb, it means that they are rather stupid. Just the
Mm.
same as silly.
Oh,
Yeah. Dim. Dim is again this is like being stupid. If you say, "Oh, he's so dim-witted," that means he's not sharp. He is um, lacking in his senses. He's so dim-witted. That means,
witted.
yeah,
Which witted?
dim-witted, witted, witted,
Mm. Okay.
dim-witted. They will say that means you really don't know what to do. You're so thick. So we come to the last one. Thick and dim are almost the same. Thick
Mm.
is not the width, but is an adjective that describes you. If they say you are thick, that means you are rather stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can always say, "Don't be so thick," meaning that don't be so stupid.
Mm. Don't be so
Or
thick.
or
Mm.
somebody can say, "You are as thick as two planks." That means a plank of wood. You can see the thickness of it.
Yeah.
So when they
Yeah.
say you are as thick as a plank or
Mm.
thick as two planks, it means that you are rather stupid.
Mm. Yeah.
Very informal.
Yeah. I see. Okay. Uh, and last line is
The
about
last line is
ever
about being clever, but
in a different
it
way.
gives
Yeah.
you the sense of being negative. That means it's not a very nice thing. When you say you are cunning, that means you're not just being clever, but you're cunning. That means you are very devious, and all these three mean the same: cunning, crafty, and sly.
Mm.
Cunning and sly are the same. Like
Mm.
you are very cunning and very sly. You might cheat people.
Mm.
That's cunning, as sly
Mm.
as a fox. They say that means
Mm.
you are thinking of methods to cheat people out of
Mm.
their money or whatever. So they say you're very cunning in
Mm.
your decisions.
Mm.
Crafty
Yeah.
means that you think of ways to outwit that person. You're very
Outwit.
crafty. Outwit. That means to outwit is to um, better better than the other person.
Can you give me an example?
Crafty,
Crafty. Mm.
crafty. Um, I would say that um, that person is rather crafty because he's always thinking of ways to get out of a difficult situation,
Mm. Yeah.
or
Okay.
thinking
I
of
see.
a way to cheat, to get people to hand over their money.
Mm.
Yeah. Can you think of that
Okay.
crafty in Chinese? A similar word?
Yeah. Maybe 狡猾. Yeah. Clever in
So
a negative way.
yeah, in a
Craft.
negative way.
Yeah. I see.
Yeah. They can always get what they want in a clever way by deceiving people, by cheating them. So they are
Mm.
very cunning and very crafty and
Mm.
devious.
Mm. Okay.
Next section,
Okay. Move to the next section.
yeah, is your attitude towards life.
Mm.
So if you say that we will describe a person as optimistic, or the opposite is pessimistic. So if you're
Mm.
optimistic, even though you've got no money, you are very optimistic. That means you take a positive attitude to life. Like you
Yeah.
say, okay, I don't have enough money for the rest of the month, but if I
mm,
were to really eat less, I think I will be able to last throughout the month. So you're very
mm,
optimistic that you will do it. Like, for example, I did not study a lot, but I'm quite optimistic that um, from what I've studied, I should be able to get through. So you're
yeah,
looking on the bright side.
mm,
Yeah.
yeah, I see. Pessimistic is almost the
The
same.
opposite,
Opposite,
just the
yeah,
opposite. Like
the opposite.
you
Mm,
taken your exams and you said, oh, I think I'm going to fail. That means
mm,
even before the results come out, you take a pessimistic attitude, like
yeah,
you don't have any hope of passing. So very
yeah,
pessimistic.
yeah. So these two attitudes are very common.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Are you a pessimist or an optimist?
sometimes I am pessimistic. Sometimes I am optimistic. It
Optimistic. Yeah.
depends. Yeah, you
Yeah,
cannot.
that's right.
Yeah, cannot. Oh, you cannot be optimistic all the time. Sometimes
Yeah.
yeah, you may be
Sometimes you,
little.
you are, yeah, a little pessimistic.
Mm,
Or you can say somebody is realistic. Realistic, that means if he
big.
hasn't done his work, he said, okay, I won't pass. So
Yeah.
he knows that, without doing all that work, there's no chance he's going to pass the exam. So he's very realistic.
Mm,
Yeah. Next one is extroverted and introverted.
mm,
When somebody describe you as extrovert, that means you look on the bright side of things.
out.
And yeah, a very outgoing person. If you go to um, a party, you will be the person who will make conversations and go out and mix with everybody, even though they are strangers.
Mm. Extroverted, but
Yeah,
extroverted is also an adjective.
yeah, it's an
Extrovert.
adjective. Extrovert, extrovert is like he's a very extrovert, so it's like a noun.
So
Pessimist,
mm, extroverted is an adjective.
yeah,
Mm. Introverted.
yeah, it's an adjective. Extrovert as a noun will say you're outgoing and you're very confident. As an adjective, extrovert is also an adjective. It means typical
So
of an extrovert.
is there any difference between
The
extrovert and
meaning,
as if they are both adjective?
you can use it as meaning that you can use it as a adjective or as a noun. Like
Mm,
you're an extrovert. That means you're an outgoing person as a noun.
mm,
Adjective um, is relates to an extrovert. I'm an extroverted person, I would say.
mm. So usually extrovert is a noun, but
Yeah,
extroverted is an adjective.
yeah.
Mm, okay.
Okay. So extroverted and the opposite is introverted.
Mm,
So if you are introverted, that means you tend to stick on your own and you will not go out and socialize with other people.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
Next
And on the
one,
next one.
next one is tense or wound up or stressed out. It means I'm very tense because the exam results are coming out. So I can't eat and I can't do anything. So I'm very tense. That means the state of your mind, you're very nervous and you're very stressed out and wound up. So all those three means the same.
Mm. Yeah, tense and stressed out are very common.
Yeah, common, yeah.
What? Yeah, as
Wound
not
up
as.
is
Mm,
not as common, but I'm
mm,
wound up. That means somebody winds you up. That means they make you upset. They will urge you say things which will make you very stressed out, and like you might say don't wind him up. So like if you want to annoy that person and you might say things which will make him get angry. So that's winding somebody up. So when
So
you say
why
he's wound up means that
why
he's stressed out.
mm,
He's very upset.
yeah, so to wind up, to wind is WIND. Is the
Yeah,
right
wind,
word.
WIND, to wind
Yeah,
somebody up.
to
Like you
wind
go
some.
home and you've had a hard day, and on top of that, instead of letting you relax, somebody will say, "Oh, can we do this? Can we do that?" So they're winding you up. Oh, let's go out. When they know jolly well that you had such a bad day, and the last thing you want to do is to go out.
Mm, yeah,
Okay,
okay.
so relaxed is, I feel very relaxed.
Yeah,
That
it's the
means
opposite.
it's the opposite,
Opposite.
yeah, of tense.
Yeah, of tense and it's just
Yeah,
out wound up.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we can keep moving.
Sensible. When you say somebody is sensible, that means he he will do things um, with a lot of thinking behind it. So
Mm,
you're very sensible. Somebody would say, "Oh, he is only 23 years old, but he's very sensible for his age." That means
mm,
at 23, you will act very maturely. You're very
mm,
mature for your age, and you do things like as if you're a grown up. So that's
mm,
sensible.
yeah.
And you're practical and down to earth. If somebody says you're a down to earth person, it means that you're very sensible.
Mm,
You make the right decisions, and like if I give you $100, you will spend it in a good way. You will not splash it out and
mm,
spend it once. So you're very down
mm.
to earth. You know the
So
value of things.
actually, the three adjectives are almost the same:
Yeah,
sensible, practical, and down to the
yeah,
down to
down to
earth.
earth. Yeah,
Mm. Earth means yeah to do something with a lot of thinking.
yeah. To be
Mm.
sensible, to act
Be sensible.
in a mature way.
Mm. Okay, I see.
Hmm.
I know that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
So we can go on to see,
Mm.
or sensitive. Do you want to talk about sensitive?
Yeah, there's an example there.
Mm.
Robert is the right.
Roberto.
Robert is very sensitive.
Roberto is
He
very
gets very,
sensitive
is very upset,
or worked up.
worked up. Yeah, if he
When you're
feels.
very
Mm,
when you are described as a sensitive person, it also means that if I were to say, "Oh, your drawing, you know, it doesn't look very good,"
mm,
so you put a lot of hours into it, and then somebody will come around and say, "Oh, your artwork isn't very good. Maybe you should try again, or maybe you shouldn't choose art for your major." So
mm,
that's a very insensitive comment to make. That means,
yeah,
especially if you think that person is sensitive, that means if you're sensitive, whatever somebody says will hurt you. If you're
yeah,
insensitive, you don't care what they say. It doesn't hurt you.
yeah, yeah. I'm that kind of person. I'm very sensitive and I really care about what others
People say,
judgment. Yeah, said you know comment about about me. Yeah, I
um,
they really mean that. I'm really care about that. Yeah, I'm very
yeah, that
sensitive.
means you are too sensitive. That means
Mm,
sometimes if I say, I think your piece of work is not needs some work on it, or is not very creative, then if you are a sensitive person, you would take it to heart and you'll feel upset. If I'm not a sensitive person, I would say, "Oh, okay, so what? It's
mm,
it's the best I could do. Maybe I'll try again next time." That is my
yeah,
attitude. But if I'm sensitive, then I'll be upset. If I'm not sensitive, I'll just
mm,
let it go over my head and I don't really care.
mm.
So
So
sometimes it's good to be
mm,
sensitive and sometimes it's not.
yeah, yeah, and so worked up here. It's the same with
Worked up,
upset.
yeah. It's like if you're sensitive and somebody says a lot of negative comments about your piece of work, you get very worked up. That means you get very nervous and upset. So they work you up. That means it's like they're pushing you to the limit of your tolerance.
Mm,
Yeah, you can't take it anymore, so you get worked up.
mm, okay.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
next one, I'm sorry.
no, we can stop here
Yeah.
because time is up. Yeah.
Okay.
And we can make another video. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Okay.